So one thing I did want to talk about is how you actually like got to library and why you wanted to dedicate so much time to actually improving not just the library platform itself, just improve like coming up with things like librarynomics. Why did you actually feel like that was something you wanted to dedicate your time to?
It started, I guess, in around, um, well, it was 2017, and it was the big Bitcoin bubble where it got to $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I, one of my best friends was into Ethereum, and he had like 100 grand worth of Ethereum, and he said, "Brendan, you got to get some crypto. It's the future. Blah blah blah." Um, and so I FOMO bought $100 of Bitcoin at the highest ever price that it's ever been, and I still have it. That that bit, because I've spent Bitcoin like once.
Mm-hmm.
Once I renewed my domain name with it, but it so there was that time, and I was I don't know if you know, but well, I'm an academic, um, and around 2015 or previous to that, I was kind of a typical academic in that I believed all the same things that my colleagues believed, and we were all politically left wing.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to become skeptical of that in around 2015. And now I would consider myself to be somewhat conservative. But in around 2017, I was like, I'm an enlightened centrist. And I'm on Twitter and I follow left people and right people and center people. Um,
I know the
and I
feeling.
consider all points of view
I
and come
was
up with this, amazing
I
balance.
was at the exact same point around the same time.
Yeah. Now I'm like, I can't read, most of the newspapers that I used to think were awesome, like Sydney Morning Herald. I just go, it's just a lot of it is cringe. And even by saying that something is cringe, like half of my colleagues would assume something bad about me because I use that term, but whatever. Um, anyway,
Mhm.
I was one of the right wing guys I was following, or sort of more libertarian, I guess, was Alex Tabarrok. He's an economist at
Mhm.
George Mason University in the States. And he is one of LBRY's advisors. And he just retweeted something about LBRY. Like, cool new way of publishing things, blockchain, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And so I'm interested in publishing things. I had a YouTube channel. Writing papers is my job. So I checked it out. I was like, oh, cool, new publishing system. And then I got frustrated with it because the experience wasn't very good. And I
Yes.
remember going on the Discord, and Julie was there, and she was trying to help me with something. And then I rage quit, which is a thing I do a lot. I'm just a bit of a temperamental guy. Um, and I I said, when it starts up and it says library beta, it should say pre-alpha, because I honestly thought that that's the level that it was at. Like, I've used open source software for years by that point. I knew that beta felt more stable than that.
Mhm.
But anyway, it said beta. And then I didn't pay attention for a few months. Then I was like, oh, I'll have another go, see if the new version's better. And it was a bit better.
Mhm.
And you know, so I went back. I started liking it more and more. Started collecting a bit more from the rewards.
Mhm.
And then I started to think, maybe one day this will be like Bitcoin, and I'll be like those people who early adopted Bitcoin.
Got to get your crypto
And
Lambo.
exactly. So the crypto Lambo was a big motivation. Um, so I started emailing all people I knew who liked or who anyone who maybe was not perfectly happy with YouTube and stuff,
Mhm.
and asking them to sync. And I was like, well, this will get me my Lambo, you know. Paul Vanderklay, I don't know if you've seen it. He's a Christian guy, does religious sort of oriented commentary. He was the first person I ever convinced to sync his channel.
Mhm.
And I was so excited. I was sitting on explorer.library.com waiting for my Lambo and clicking refresh. And one of his videos popped up on recent claims down the bottom. Yes. Um, yeah, it was starting to get better. I wanted my Lambo, but the price kept going down. And so for like 2 years, it was basically a law that that my balance was valued at about $1,000 US. You know, even if it was 10 times as much LBC as it used to be.
So, actually, roughly when do you think you joined? I want to see what the price was at that point.
It would have been. I can actually fire up my app right now, and I can tell you because it keeps the rewards history. So I don't
yes.
I don't have the old wallet. I've like cleaned out my wallet several times since then. But it'll have the rewards history, and it'll be my first stream or something from 2017. I think it was like block 266,000 or something.
Before that way back there. Cool. I'll show that on the screen. There we go. So
okay, my first nickel was November 3rd, 2017.
November 3rd. Oh, I'll get it close enough. Oh, you joined at one of the dips.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, it was 18 cents when you joined, and then it went all the way up to $1.50.
I didn't have.
Sorry, $1.70 actually.
Let's just say I was not a whale. Now I am.
God, if you okay. So if you had bought at 18 cents and then sold at $1.70, there's your crypto Lambo.
Yeah, that's 10%, but you really, you have to be willing to risk it all.
And yeah, if we look at the entire graph,
it's a sad graph, isn't it?
Very sad graph. But this is sort of what happens with a lot of crypto projects. There's a lot of hype when they first come out. What was the initial price? Like $2, something dumb?
Yeah, for like a week it was $2 or something.
Yeah. And that's when people first hear about the project, and don't buy then. That's a bad idea. It's not going to go up.
Well, who knows?
Now we are at 2.9 cents. But yeah, the platform's good now. That's the difference.
There has been in my life, in my sort of library interest, there has been no correlation whatsoever that I've noticed between the price and anything. It's like
speculation.
The user base triples, nothing happens. Everyone quits, nothing happens. Servers break for a week, nothing happens. Great new feature that suddenly makes it way better, nothing happens.
Yeah, Odyssey dropped, and it's just like,
yeah. And the actually on Librarynomics you can see that since Odyssey came out, usage of the library network is higher. So I think my favorite proxy for how many people are using this is the number of reposts per day, which before Odyssey was about 1,000, and now it's about 1,500.
Okay.
Because I think a repost has a cost. Someone is there sitting there and they click that button. That's like a real person doing something.
What is Grass? Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Number of channels, number of reposts.
The number of reposts, yeah. And if you look at the bottom graph there, that's been measured since reposts started to exist, which was early 2020, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Is it early 2020? Yeah. And then you can see a big spike up. That's when they introduced a reward where if you so the first spike in the number of reposts, it's repost your 5 favorite channels and get LBC. So of course everyone did it.